5 minutes and counting. And now for the first time, the boos begin to drown out the cheers.
This may be the end of Western civilization as we know it.
So, I'm glad we were designated to televise it.
Boy, I bet my mother's watching it at home.
He says he has music in his head. I'm not sure I want to hear it.
6 minutes and counting. The entrance of Prince Naseem Hamed. And it'll be interesting to see if all that survives as he continues his tour through the boxing world. Now watch for the flip. Backflip over the top rope. Or perhaps a forward somersault over the top rope. Here it comes.
Doing his thing. When another fighter starts to partake in it, he's at a disadvantage. And that's what happened. Kelly started to go into the wrong kind of stuff. He didn't need that.
He got into Naz's world. It'll be interesting to see if it diminishes him in any way.
He started to trash talk. The next thing you know, he'll start fighting trashing.
They're both southpaws, although with Naseem Hamed, it hardly matters. He will whirl and spring in the air. He'll throw punches at odd angles from either side. Kevin Kelly has an outstanding right jab. First hard punch of the fight is a straight right hand by Naseem.
And the first jab was landed by the Prince Haseem. Naseem, he landed the first jab. You don't want that.
And he lands 2 more. Naseem fighting more conventionally in the first minute of the fight than many of us had been led to expect.
You don't want to find yourself, if you're Kevin Kelly, waiting to see what he's going to do. You got to get out there, establish yourself on the pure basics. Jab, right hand hook, bob and weave. You don't want to get out there waiting.
Kelly has missed with most of his punches so far. Hamed has been able to land straight right hands. Now Hamed switches to a conventional stance.
Kelly, it seems, has a bad right eye. He seems to react as soon as it's touched by any punch.
Well, you saw the swelling in the Derek Gainer fight, the bad swelling on both eyes in the Alejandro Gonzalez fight. Kevin Kelly's had 50 pro fights, and he's been in too many wars for the taste of most of his supporters. They want to see Kevin box.
So far, Hamed has beaten Kelly to the punch with both hands.
The good thing about Kelly, the fight is on no matter what. If it goes into 6th round, he still believes that I can get a knockout. So he's willing to waste a few rounds.
First 2 minutes of the fight, Hamed is a puzzle that Kelly is unable to solve. But down goes the Prince on Kelly's first serious landed punch. A looping right hand put Hamed down. Second time in his career he's been down in the first round. Puerto Rican Daniel Alicea was able to do it too. Also in the first round, but then Hamed came back to knock him out in the second.
We all were wondering what was going to happen when he caught a punch from Kelly. We saw it.
Yeah, and Kelly believes in his power, so you'll never discourage him, even if his eyes are swollen, if he's cut.
Kelly just missed with a hard left hand. Hamed switches into a conventional stance. Kevin, for a couple of beats, was in a conventional stance himself. Now he goes back to his regular southpaw. Hamed switching from side to side as he faces the man who has floored him in the first round. Kelly landed only 10 punches in the first round, but it only took one to do the damage which won him the round.
I think it was a wonderful feat by Naseem to be able to get knocked down and then have your opponent running from you at the end of the round. He got up and made Kelly run. Now they will get a good, powerful right jab by Kevin Kelly.
Strong jab. Backs Naseem up. Naseem in the ropes. First time he's been in the ring with a fighter of Kevin Kelly's class. The wonderful thing coming into tonight was you knew that anything could happen. And one of the things that could happen would be that the Prince was exposed as a fraud. His gloves touch the canvas. The count begins. The second knockdown for Kelly. So one knockdown in each round now for Kevin Kelly.
Yeah, I think the last knockdown was fluke.
Kelly was down. I thought that was a knockdown that Kelly should have been scored for a knockdown.
Benji Esteves waved it off and ruled it a slip. So it does not count as a knockdown against Kelly. Hamed's been down twice. The knockdown, the apparent knockdown of Kelly ruled a slip. Hard right hand inside by Kelly.
The Prince has not seen this kind of power before.
Well, but Hamed is supposed to have power of his own with his quickness, and we haven't seen the evidence of that as yet.
I think the mistake he made.
There we go, right there.
There's the power. There's the power you were talking about. And Kelly is stunned.
Hey, come on, baby.
And Hamed nods to him. Now we're in a fight.
Green, no. Watch that elbow. Let's go.
And Kelly gets out of his boxing stance and decides to go to war. Now he settles back.
The more Naseem decides to be orthodox, the more trouble he gets himself into. So it's at his advantage to stay wild. Drop your hand, make this guy wait for you.
Kelly lands a hard chopping left and another. Naseem seemingly beginning to weather Kevin's punches a little bit better.
You can see Naseem is trying to get the rhythm to Kelly, and he's not able to do that.
Dropping his hand, switching from side to side. Now he goes back into a boxing stance.
5 seconds.
Round 2 is going to come to a close, having seen knockdowns for each fighter.
Hamed won that round because they split knockdowns. His knockdown was more convincing, and he landed more punches in the rest of the round.
Naseem is getting hit with punches. He's causing himself to be off balance by throwing his head back in power. But the knockdown that Kelly received was a true knockdown, not off balance, pure power.
Well, Naseem breaks so many rules of textbook boxing, it's as though he not only hasn't read the book, he hasn't looked at the table of contents. Leans his head back, ducks from side to side, trying to get away from punches. Takes a hard left from Kelly there. And lands a hard right hand of his own.
That was power by Naseem.
Well, one time he's going to leap too often, and he may leap right into a Kelly punch, and that would be it. As Phil Borges said, if he leaps, he sleeps.
Kevin Kelly's got true power. He's real accurate with his straight left hand.
Oh, when you're fighting against a powerful, good boxer like Kevin who has good balance, you better watch your own balance. And bad balance contributed to that second Kelly knockdown of Hamed in round 2. Now Kevin starting to try to establish the straight right jab.
That was a good jab by Kevin Kelly that did some damage.
Kelly lands a left cross. Hamed ducking, sliding along the ropes. Not throwing as many punches in this round. Hamed seeming to have gone into a little bit of a caution state here as the result of the damage that Kevin Kelly's been able to do.
Yeah, it's the jab by Kevin Kelly that's being most effective now. If he just maintained that right jab, he can make this an easy fight.
And as we pointed out, that's another thing Phil Borgia said. He said, my man has the better jab and the longer reach. How's Hamed going to get past that? In other fights, he's had his ways, but he hasn't been in with anybody as good as Kevin Kelly.
Hamed seems to see dropping his hands in there is not getting him any advantage. So dropping those hands with Kelly can call good night. Got to keep your hands up with a guy like Kelly.
Right now, Hamed seems less unorthodox than just confused on how to break through Kelly's guard.
They trade right hands. Kevin's was the harder of the two. Good left uppercut by Prince Naseem. Right hand lands again as well. Naseem starting to come out of his shell and get more aggressive again.
You want to say to Naseem, stop pulling back with your head, but then you lose the total fighter.
You wanted to say that to Muhammad Ali, too.
Yeah, but you lose the total fighter because they do what they do. It makes them so good.
Not to get into a war. He wants him to pick Kelly off with his jab. Ping, ping.
That's not an easy thing to do. When you're fighting a boxer with a jab, you almost have to war. Get into a war. Kelly's got a good right jab.
He sure does. Naseem lands a couple power punches. Kevin Kelly lands a hard left hand. Kelly misses with the right and misses wildly with the right. But Naseem not in a position to counter either time. Hard left hand up top by Prince Naseem Hamed.
Okay, watch the head. Let's go. Watch that elbow.
Seems that Kevin Kelly is getting the best of the counterpunching. You would expect the opposite.
They trade in short bursts and flurries. Naseem landing more accurately in this round than has been the case before, but taking some leather in return. Down goes Kelly on two hard left hands. Now they're even. Both fighters down twice in the fight.
Ooh, a good
Blistering right hand by Hamed. Kelly a little slow to respond here.
You got to be careful mixing up with Kelly because he can fight.
And that's going to be ruled a knockdown as Naseem's glove grazed the canvas. So there's the count for that. Third knockdown of Hamed by Kelly, and the Naseem advocates in the crowd boo that. Hard left hand by Kelly, and a right hand shot. Leaping right hand by the Prince, and a hard left, and Kelly's down for the third time.
Whoa!
6, 7, 8, 9.
He's got a half a minute, and he is definitely hurt.
He's
and the
for real.
fight is over.
He's for real. The Prince is for real.
Punching power, George.
It's almost like De La Hoya. You don't know where they get the power from.
What we just saw was the Hagler Hearns of featherweight fighting.